Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantarada Kanta Namostute Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we talk about enlightenment. Enlightenment is the issue that we talk about. And many people find like a lot of difficulties to become enlightened, no? Like a lot of obstacles to become enlightened. But if enlightenment is the realization of your real nature, or the realization of what you really are, how can be so much obstacles in order to realize what your authenticity? How can be so much obstacles to something so natural? So what if most of the obstacles are your own creation? Most of the problems to this recognition are your own creation, or a production of your thoughts. Many people think that, or even ask me, are you enlightened? Can I be enlightened? What can I do in order to be enlightened? And then you can see that they have in mind something like somebody that perceive the world, or decide to perceive the world in a certain way. Somebody who think, somebody who smell, somebody who walk. And they look life in that way. They create some entity, imaginary entity, that can be enlightened. And that entity now is in Maya, is in illusion. And that entity creates a lot of problems. It's an entity made of thoughts, ideas. So that entity, what we call ahankara, ego, you, is made of past. And for you, enlightenment is a goal, something that will be in some future, and you make certain efforts. You arrange something, and then in some future you will be enlightened. But we know that the only reality is the present. There is no other reality than the present. The past exists in your memory. The future is only, your imagination. Is the projection of your past. Is history, is a story, is something that happens that you project in some future. So this entity that you imagine to be, that you think you are, this entity is what you think you are. You think that in some moment or other can be enlightened. Something will happen. But to really experience the reality of what you really are, and the reality in general, you have to stay in the present. Only the present is real. The reality don't happen yesterday or tomorrow. Reality cannot be next year. Whatever you experience in your life, you experience in the present. even if you postpone enlightenment and you think, in the future I will be enlightened, the moment you will achieve that, you will reach that future, will be present. Oh, I am in the present one more time. Only the present. So, not only yourself, but whatever you want to perceive, in reality you should accept the present. And I say accept because if you pay attention, you will see that most of the day what you do is that you reject or avoid the present. You live, but you live in the world of your imaginations, your thoughts, your past, the conditioning. You act as a conditioning entity, and that conditioning is past, is a history. The voice of your parents, your uncles, your friends, your teachers, they made that entity. But at the moment you accept, recognize the present, and the way is very simple. The way is so simple is to pay attention to those ordinary things, very ordinary things that it happens in the present. You are back on the chair. Yeah, that is not a big light, because the ego wants big lights, big things happens, but the back and the touching the chair, the breathing in the nostrils, the heart, the things that if you pay attention to them, you can situate yourself in the present. They are the door to this moment. Even things that, like a thought, the thoughts happens, the emotions, feelings, this bird. And in some moment you will pay attention that all these phenomenon of sounds, colors, they take place in the present. Means the present is that space where everything takes place, where everything happens, because nothing happens out of the present. Everything that happens in the present. So this present that is a presence, is what you really are. You and that is what enlightenment is about. The recognition of the present as the space where everything happens, and the present as your reality, or what you really are. You are present. You are not a body, you are not a form, you are not a name, you are a presence. And that presence is the present. Is the presence where everything takes place. And everything is in some way or other present too. And the process of meditation is so simple, is slowly to perceive this space, the present, the recognition, the perception of this present, that slowly fall in love with you. What happens here is a romance, and you fall in love with that presence. But like every romance, is two become one. In some way or other, is the magic of love that two slowly, slowly, as the love increase, they become one. That happens to every couple, even in this relative level, because that is the essence of love, to unite. And then every moment in the present, you allow the presence to penetrate you, the present penetrate you, the now. And that is, the present is Krishna, the present is God. You can call it consciousness, but it's that bhakti, prema bhakti, that deep relation. So everything begins with this acceptance of the present moment that is so far away from these expectations that this ego, from to be Maya, in some moment will be enlightened and something will happen. Is like to be all the time directed to some future, some tomorrow. Is totally doesn't fit with the real spiritual process. That is a recognition of the present. And the present is amazing, but even there, not to make to go beyond this raga and dvesha, like and don't like, things that attract you and reject you, and appreciate the present as it is. Certain people say, yeah, but for me it's very difficult to be in the present, because they think that entity will be in the present, but you cannot be out of the present. These are the kind of problems that the ego create. Like, I cannot be in the present. I am not in the present. But even if you are not in the present, you are aware of it. And you are aware that you are not in the present when? Now. So you are in the present. Even if, for example, you have a lot of thoughts. I cannot be in the present because I have a lot of thoughts. Yeah, but that thoughts happens in the present. So you cannot be not in the present. That is other kind of imaginations of the ego, that you cannot be in the present. Or I cannot be aware. Prove me you cannot be aware. You see? Now I am not aware. But if you catch yourself, you are not aware, you are aware of it. Means if you are aware that you are in Maya, you are aware, and that is good. That is the point, to be aware. So to be in the present, to be aware, to accept what is as it is, and not to divide what I like, what I don't like. What I like is in the present is God, and what I don't like cannot be God, cannot be. No. All the waves are the ocean. Small waves, big waves, tsunami. But you need to understand that when you accept the present and you recognize the present as your real nature, when you accept that the wave is part of the ocean and is the ocean, you understand that not the waves, not the tsunami, and nothing affect the water. The water is not affected by any tsunami. You understand what I mean? In the same way, the present is the present, and nothing affects the present. Nothing affects the present. No matter what happens is something that you can call it negative or something that you call it positive. The present is present, and that is the importance to really go beyond this raga and dvesha, like and don't like, because then you will have a very conditioning acceptance of the reality. You love nature, but you love nature in the spring. in the winter you don't love nature because it's cold. So you don't love nature, you love yourself. You love this ego that feels certain comfortable uh, feelings in the body, sense perceptions, but you don't really love nature. You love unconditionally. Love nature in all the situations, in all his aspects. Love the present as it is. Accept the present as it is. The love will happen. At the moment that you are in the present, you fall in love. There is a romance. That is the romance between Krishna and Radha. You will experience it. Because the present is love. It's not that you love somebody, it's love. It's love. It's consciousness, Satchidananda. So, until we don't go beyond all these ideas that we have about enlightenment, it's very difficult to really develop yourself in spiritual life, because you can be forever with these expectations that in some future I will be in the now. You understand what I mean? In some tomorrow I will be in the now. In the next meditation I will be in the now. No? You and the now cannot meet because you are past. So it's an impossible. It's a kind of impossible. So better than complicated meditations, watch simple things, how your legs touch the floor, and then you are more near to the now and situate yourself in this moment. And that is what, and accept it. Stop to avoid the present. Don't reject the present. Whatever the present brings you is welcome. Even in this moment, there are thoughts. The yoga chitta vritti nirodha, to stop the mental activity, is not a violent stopping. Oh, many people want to stop the thoughts because yoga chitta vritti nirodha say Patanjali Maharishi. And no, to stop the thinking process is to stop to identify yourself with the thoughts. Means accept them. If in this moment there are some thoughts, accept them, welcome. They happen in this moment and they are beautiful. It's other kind of waves in the nature, certain emotions. Everything happens in this wild space that is the present. But you are the present. You are the space where everything happens. And these thoughts, emotions, forms, colors, these are waves. You don't need to throw away or to stop thoughts in order to be what you really are. It's like the ocean don't need to throw away some waves in order to be the real ocean. Or no, I need to throw away the tsunami, so I will be the ocean without tsunami. No, the water is water. And the same thing, the present is present. With whatever he carry, no? Whatever he bring you is present. Accept it and stay there, dissolve into it. It's much more simple than what people think. You create all this, everything you make dramas, problems. Oh, I cannot be in the present. I cannot be aware. And you can explain for a long explanations why you cannot be aware. You need a lot of awareness to see that. So you are aware. Give yourself the time. Time is important in the sense that as long as you can be and enjoy the present, you fall in love with the present, and the present fall in love with you. And remember, in love always two become one. In some moment, this love in the present, you disappear, you dissolve. The wave is dissolved into the ocean, you will realize, will be the realization that you are only one aspect of your nature. You are the temporal aspect. You are the limited aspect. That the present is your universal oceanic aspect. It's like the wave. The wave have two aspects. One is her form, name, wave, is one aspect of the ocean. And the ocean is an aspect of the wave. So you, this wave that want to be the ocean, separate from the ocean, she want to escape from the ocean, to be away. Is the other direction is to discover that her universal aspect, the present, is your oceanic aspect. This presence of this moment is you. And in this moment, everything takes place. It's a vast space. Perceive the present. But not, you can begin to perceive through the color, sensations, but pay attention to that space where all these perceptions take place. And that presence, that wild space, is that. That is you. Everything happens in you. This forest happens in you. The sounds, where they happen? In you, in the present. And you happens in you. The wave happens in the ocean. The wave cannot happen outside the ocean. You as a wave happens in what you think that you are, happens in what you really are. It's a big mistake that people think the present is time. The present is not time. Time is past, time is future. You can talk time, you can talk only in terms of past and future. The past year, the past month, the past week, the past day, the past hour, the past minute. But when you say the present minute, that is past. There is no present. The present is no time. The present is you. The present is that presence, infinite presence, that is where everything happens. And that is something that the recognition of the present as your real nature and the acceptance is what lead you in the right. That is the only. It's not the right direction. It's the only direction. There is no other. Nothing to seek. Nothing to search for. Nothing to wait for. You always wait. When I will be okay, I will be enlightened. But even the most stupid things you do it now. But the most incredible thing is that the situation in the present is the source of every virtue. Don't try to collect virtues in order to be enlightened one day. Be in the present, and all the virtues appears in the present. You want to overcome worry. Be in the present, and what you can worry when you are in the present. You worry because you are in the past and in the future. But when you are in the present, you cannot worry. You are afraid. In the present, there is no fear. How can be fear in the present? You are afraid because you think about some future that can, like that. How can you be miser if you are in the now? How can the now is awareness and is the source of every virtue. But you are busy fight with the scene. So it's in order to be tomorrow in the present. You don't feel that when you situate in the present, everything is okay? Everything is okay. And then the ego say, yeah, but tomorrow, what about tomorrow? You will be the same.